Welcome back to part 2 of this review. So far we have done the front on equations, checking numbers 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and we just finished up 5, talking about the whole no solution versus all real numbers solutions. We are going to go on to number 6 and 7, which are also solving equations, but it is going to be a little different. This time we have a fraction equals a fraction. And when you do those, you're going to do cross multiplication. So cross multiply. That's what this section is. And when you cross multiply, you're going to take a diagonal and multiply them, hence the multiply part. And you're going to do that across, hence the cross part. Ta-da! When you do those, though, it is important to make sure that anytime you have something with 2 terms in it, like the x plus 9, put it in parentheses. That's very important. So x plus 9, I'm putting it in parentheses. On the next problem, you see there's 2 of these. I'm going to put both of these in parentheses as well. But anytime there's 2 things, put it in parentheses. That way, on my pink right here, 2 times x plus 9 is going to be equal to. That's the big thing. With cross multiply, the 2 things are going to be equal to each other. So purple here is equal to 4 times 7. So 4 times 7 is 28, like so. So that is how you cross multiply. 4 times 7 is 28. 2 times x plus 9 looks like that. Then you solve it like a normal equation. So if you know how to solve this, I recommend pausing the video and trying to solve it, or as I'm talking, pause every once in a while to see if you can anticipate the next thing I'm going to say in terms of how to solve it. For instance, what do I do next? The answer, I distribute. 2 times x is 2x. You know, if my ink decides to work, boop, 2x. And then 2 times 9 is 18. All right, can you anticipate what the next step is? The answer is subtract 18 from both sides. Boop. And you get 2x equals 28 minus 18 is 10. And what's the last step? Divide by 2. Boop. And you get x equals 5. So the answer is x equals 5. All right, if you think that's good enough for a review for you, I suggest putting this on a piece of paper, pausing it, and see if you can do it. It is a little different, as you can see that there's more than one parenthesis that's going to be happening. So that's up to you. Here it is, first step. I'm going to put these in parentheses. Hey, look, my black pen is working again. Put those in parentheses. And then I'm going to cross multiply. So 3 times x plus 4 is equal to 5 times x plus 2. There we go. They are being multiplied, right? And I always put the whole number in front of the parenthesis. It's just easier to visualize that you're going to distribute. Oops, did I just give it away? Oops. Yes, the next step, just like before, when you have the number in front of the thing there, you are going to distribute. Boop. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is a positive 12. 5 times x, 5 times 2. All right, so if that went too fast, just pause it until it makes sense. Distribute. Next up, I am noticing that there's no like terms on each side, but there is an x on both sides. So how do you do? Your choices are to either subtract 3x over there or subtract 5x over there. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides because I like x on the left. So that goes away. You get 10. Here, 3 minus 5 is negative 2. And then the 12 comes down. All right, what's next? Let's see. Oh, that's a positive 12, so I'll subtract 12. And I'm going to have to go over here. You get negative 2x right there. And then on the other side, it's 10 minus 12. And 10 minus 12 is negative 2. So just coming up over there. Since it is a negative 2 times x, we are going to divide by negative 2. And negative 2 divided by negative 2 is a positive 1. So the answer to that question is 1. Okay. So that's 2 problems done. Those are the cross multiplying. The next one, these are called implicit equations. It's saying solve this equation for f. So you're trying to get f by itself right here. Right? Trying to get f by itself. Right now, f is not by itself. F is attached to the g. We want the g to not be there. So since I want just f, I want to get rid of the g. Since these are being multiplied, I need to divide by g. So I'll divide both sides by g. Right? This is the equation. So if you divide both sides by g, then the g's will cancel. And now you only have f on the left, and this just says 5 over g. So the answer is just going to be 5 over g. Nothing more complicated than that. For implicit equations, it's always going to be like that. There's nothing to do. You just kind of write it. Like I said, it's just written there already. I rewrote it. And that's it. We have solved for f. F equals stuff. For the next one, 2 more. It says solve this equation, specifically for a. So right now, a is not by itself. Right now, a is attached to this 4 and this h, both of them. All right? So I want just the a. I don't want the 4 and the h. They are all being multiplied. Since they are all being multiplied, to get rid of the 4, I would divide by 4. To get rid of the h, I would divide by h. So the 4's go away, the h's go away, and all I have left is a. And over here, it says d plus g over 4 times h. And I'm just going to write that. Capital D plus lowercase g all over 4 times lowercase h. And that is the answer. That's it. You can write it the other way if you want, but it's the same thing. Either one of them is good. We divided by 4h. That's it. Number 10 is a little different just because it has a number in there. We are going to be solving for h, which is right there, which means we need to get rid of, on the same side, the 1/2 and the b. So this one's a little different. You do still divide by b on both sides, because that'll get rid of the b. But now it's still 1/2 times h, and that doesn't get rid of the 1/2. So you might think divide by a half, and that's technically right, but you don't usually do that. What you're supposed to do is multiply the reciprocal. So right now it's 1/2. The reciprocal would be 2 over 1, or just 2. So if you multiply both sides by 2, then the 2 and the 1/2 go away, and you would end up with 2a over b. So once again, if you have a 1/2, then the way you get rid of a 1/2 is to multiply it by 2. Because then the 2's will cancel, and all you have left is the h. And then here it is, 2 times a over b, lowercase b. If you wrote it like this, that would be fine as well. It's just the 2 would go on top and not down bottom. Don't put a 2 down there. Okay, that's it for the equations part. Next up are the word problems. So here we go. The larger number is 1 more than twice the smaller number. So you have 2 numbers. We usually call the numbers x and y. So we'll just say the larger number is x, because why not? Why not? Get it? Okay. So the larger number is going to be x. Is means equals. 1 more than, I should use a different color. Here's blue. 1 more than means it's going to be a +1 at the end, right? The more than, that thing always means afterwards or later than. Just, it goes at the end. So I'm going to write at end. And then twice the smaller number. So the smaller number is y, and twice means multiply it by 2. So twice the smaller number is 2 times y, so 2y. So the first equation is x equals 2y plus 1. The larger number is 1 more than twice the smaller number. So that is our first equation. Our second equation. The sum. Sum means plus. Don't know if you can read it because it's yellow highlighter, but it's a plus sign. Sum means plus. And then it says the 2 numbers. So the 2 numbers were x and y. The sum of the 2 numbers. And then it says is, which is equals 37. And there's our 2 equations. The sum of the 2 numbers is 37. And then you do something called substitution. So this x right here is equal to 2y plus 1. So if this x is 2y plus 1, this x is also 2y plus 1. So that x is also 2y plus 1. And then here's the plus y, here's the 37. But this is coming from over there. X is 2y plus 1. X is 2y plus 1. Substitution. Now you can combine like terms. 2y plus y is 3y. So you have 3y plus 1 equals 37. And you can solve from there. Subtract 1. You get 3y equals 36. Divide by 3. Y equals, let's see, 1, 2, 12. So y equals 12. Give you a second to pause that if you need to look at it, make it make sense. The next step is to find x, because it does say to find both numbers. So we're going to take this and plug it in there to find x. So y is 12. Once again, if you need to pause it there to make it make sense, you can. But it says y is 12, so we're plugging in 12 for y. This will be 24 plus 1, which is 25. And there we go. 25 and 12. If you need to rewatch it, that's fine. Next up, the length of a rectangle. I'm going to draw a rectangle because I like drawing rectangles. So we're going to have lengths and we're going to have widths. It says the length of a rectangle is, so that's equal, let's see, 2 less than means it's going to end with a -2, because remember the whole less than part means it's going to be done at the end. So 2 less than 4 times the width. So 4 times the width would be 4 times the width, like that, 4W. Okay, so if I was to label my figure, the length is going to be 4W minus 2 on both sides, and the width is just the width. Nothing to do there. And then it says that the perimeter is 56. So the perimeter is this, plus this, plus this, plus this. So you're adding all 4 of these things together. So if you're a visual person, you can just count like this, how many W's are there? There's 4 here, another here, and another here. So that's 4. This makes a total of 8, 9, and 10. So you would have 10 W's. All right, W, 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 W's. Meanwhile, you have a -2 and another -2. So if you put those together, you get a -4. And then the perimeter was 56. So all 4 of these added together is 56. Now, if you want to just write it out more, you can. Right? W plus W minus 2. Right? Those are the 2 sides, plus the other 2 sides, which are W and 4W minus 2. You can do that, right? If you like writing it out. W, 4W minus 2, W, 4W minus 2. Add those together, and you get the perimeter, right? Perimeter. It's just then, when you combine like terms, you're going to notice that you get the exact same thing over there, 10W minus 4. And then you solve it. So add 4 to both sides, and you get 60. And then divide by 10 to get W equals 6. So the width is 6. And very similar to before, now that we have the width, we can say that the width is 6. So since the width is 6, this will be 4 times 6 minus 2. Which is 24, minus 2, which is 22. So the length is 22. Like that. And that'll do it. That'll be the dimensions, as it asks. Find the dimensions, length and width. Length and width. All right, that is the end of the review guide. Hopefully this helped. Like I always say, you can always rewind or pause through these things to find out anything you need. But there you go. Right there, that's everything we did today on the back. And the parts we did on the front were down here on cross multiply. Okay, hope it helped. Have a good one. Bye.